Picture this: a world where mental health is as commonly discussed as the weather, where self care is as routine as brushing your teeth, and seeking support is as natural as reaching for a friend's hand. This is weight management expert Narado Zeco Powell. And over the years, I've helped thousands of people transform their lives, get their results. But not only have I had to help them with the physical, but I've always had to start with the mental. We see all these cliches on, or maybe I should say mantras, right? On Instagram, Facebook, so on and so forth. And they say, well, success starts with consistency and not just motivation, but that's not going deep enough. And for the people that I've helped to really transform themselves, I've had to go deep to get them to where they are so they'll continue to be successful even when I'm not there. And that's what I'm going to talk about today: how to begin your mental health journey. And I just have a few tips on this short episode. The first thing I want to talk about is self-awareness. Now, that can be a big word and can involve many things. But self-awareness really comes down to really understanding who you are. But there are two pieces that I've learned to self-awareness. Okay, there's internal self-awareness, and then there's external self-awareness. So how I look at internal self-awareness is within yourself, things that you identify that needs to change. Or not just needs to change, by the way, but the things you identify that don't need to change. It's really understanding who you are. And then there's external self-awareness, which tends to be how the things that you do and your actions, how they impact those around you. Now, it's important to really dive into this on a daily because these things may change. But understanding both pieces to that puzzle help you to know who you are, why you do the things that you do. I released an episode, I think it's last week, about motivation, understanding how you're motivated. If you practice self-awareness, it'll help you to understand how you're motivated. And as you understand how you're motivated, it will help you in decisions that you make. Now, I'm going to go a lot deeper into further episodes on self-awareness. But I want you to first, as I talk about starting your mental health journey, look at self-awareness and how self-aware you are. There are quizzes you can take online that can help you with this as well. And as you see it, you can see some things, again, that may need to change, may not need to be changed. But it's not a judgmental thing. It's more at looking at yourself and understanding who I am, why I do things the way I do, and if I need to change, how can I make changes? Self-awareness is extremely important. The next thing is seeking support. Now, this can be hard for a lot of people because that's one of my toughest things, is seeking support, is reaching out to others for help. And the way I look at seeking support is when I know I need help, the people I go to first are those who are not emotional vampires, but it's reaching out to others who I know have my best interests at heart. That's my family. But to a lot of people, that's not their family. A lot of times it's strangers. A lot of times it can be even friends or close friends. I've had a lot of close friends in my life who I've, in a way, adopted as my family because they have my best interests at heart. And there's some people who may even have your best interest at heart, but they only see things through their own lens. And you want, or I want at least, people who understand me. Because if the better you understand me, the more of a relationship we can have. Now, understanding someone takes time, but there are also many other factors when it comes to really developing that understanding, which I can go into in later episodes. But seeking support is important. If sometimes it's someone you just trust, they may not even fully get you, but you trust that they will listen. They won't just tell you what to do, but they truly will just let you be who you are. So seeking support is that next thing. The third thing I want to discuss is practicing self care. Now, in the last few years, we've been hearing a lot about self care, self care. So, what does self care mean? Self care doesn't necessarily mean drinking a glass of wine and taking a bubble bath, because a lot of these things that I talk about are within self care. Becoming more self aware internally and externally and seeking support, those are parts of self care. But then you need to set routines in your life as well. Because for me, I realize that whenever I don't sleep well, I struggle a lot. It's hard for me to make decisions. I get angry faster. When I'm not around the right people and I don't feel accepted, it affects me a certain way. And being self aware, I have to ask myself, why does it in fact impact me that way? And I sometimes for me, I like to talk through these things. But self care is important. Self care doesn't just mean a self care routine, but it's a complete approach to your life. Now, these things may just seem plain and easy, but it's where you want to start. Now, if you need to speak to a professional, a psychologist, a transformation coach, which I am as well, feel free to do so because you want to, again, seek that support. But it starts with that self awareness, knowing that you need the help, and then start to work on it because you don't want to have a breakdown and then try to receive help. Yes, if you have a breakdown, you want to seek help, but hopefully it doesn't always have to get that far. It's not being preemptive instead of just reactive. This is weight management expert Narado Zeco Powell. I really hope this episode is going to help a lot of people because I want people to know that you struggle and I struggle. And you're not alone and I'm not alone. But if we're going to crush it in this life, if we're going to crush it in this world, we need to discuss these important topics. Enjoy the rest of your day, fam.